Alright, got my welding headgear on here. Trust me, when you have a hot berry fall down, you don't want it going down your shirt. I've learned that a lot. You can flip this floor over and do the bottom if you have a buddy to help you. I'll just do it on a lift real quick. What we're going to do in this set here, we're going to spot tack up all those spots now that we drilled. All down up through here. And put it back like factory. And then we'll beat that edge over. So I'm going to get that going right now. Here I'll show you what we're really doing, and then we'll finish up. I'll finish up welding, and then we'll come back when we're beating down the floor. So we're just plugging all them holes back up, and that's all you really got to do. And then we'll get back to when we're doing this floor. All right, we're back. We got all this spot tacked underneath. You can see they kind of look like factory tacks here. Nothing crazy. What we're going to do here is you don't really hit up here. You kind of hit at an angle. We're going to bend this lip over, and you got to massage it in, and then you got to come back and work it. It takes quite a bit of work to do this. No more than 15 minutes, but it just takes a lot of hammering, and you know, a lot of this stuff's going to take skill and time and learning. You're not going to just be able to grind and weld the stuff perfect the first time if you've never done this before. This took years to do this stuff, so I'm going to get hammering on this, and I'll show you the finished result when we're done here. Here's how I'm talking when I'm hitting this. I'm coming right about in here and hitting at a down, kind of like a downwards angle. So Alright, you can see here now, we got a pretty good looking floor. Come over here and get a bit from this angle. Massaged it all in. Looks pretty good, nice and straight. Looks like factory. Been over that edge. All I got to do is finish making these little welds and grinding them right here in this corner that I didn't finish up because I was going to beat it over. A lot of work, but it can be done. Look pretty close factory. When you put that tailgate shut, you will never know it. Alright, I'll come back when when I get this front laid out, and I'll show you what we do up here. She should go ahead and turn the camera off now. Alright, now we're going to start cutting the front off. I measure back. This is what I do. We come back 5 3/4 of an inch. We'll cut this off, and then I'll measure back my 14, which should come about right in here. And that should put you to factory short bed specs. And I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this off now. So remember, 5 3/4 for the front of this edge is where I measure. And the reason you can't just cut these beds off, because look, we got this up here. The hose don't line up right. And this is that is a saw most of that. So. Alright, now we got that cut off. Now I'll measure back my 14 inches after that's cut off this front edge, and that's when we'll make our final cut. So I'm going to go ahead and lay all that out. She's going to turn off the camera for another minute, and then I'll come back after I got that laid out and cut it off. Now I got my 14 inches laid out from the front of this. I measured from here, 14 back. Always mark your tape, like I said, with the lines. So now I'll cut this 14 inches off, and then I'm going to clean up the metal afterwards and prep it for both sides, top and bottom. And then get this up here, get that prepped, and then we'll put them together, and then I'll show you other tricks I do to keep it all nice and straight. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now. prep it. We'll come back after it's prepped and put together. Alright, now I'm going to start welding this out. What I've done here is I got it all back together with my butt clamps. And I like to take 2 pieces of angle here and tack one up here. I know it's kind of messing up the paint up here in the bed, but it really helps out. I like to take it here, lay it flush, and then pull my bed up where I know it's flush and tack that both sides. And what I'll do is I'll work in sections. So I'll weld this out first, and then I'll come down here and weld this out. But I'll put my bar right in here to make sure that ends up and nice and straight. That's what you're trying to keep, because when you're welding it likes to pull. And I like to keep my floor nice and straight, so I just work in sections, weld this out, move my bars, and in that manner. So I'm going to go ahead and weld this out. And on another note, if you ever have any big gaps in your floor, you know, sometimes you can do some relief cuts. Just come through here with your disc while it's butted together and cut those tight areas and slowly beat it in a little bit, and it'll slowly close up that gap. Not a whole lot. You can't be doing a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, whatever. But, you know, an 1/8, 1/16, the bolts will still line up. You're still good. So, yeah, just small relief cuts to get you a long ways. Get this thing butted up so you can do a nice weld. Not no huge gaps. So, I'm going to weld this out. Grind it down. Remember, take your time at grinding. And I'll be back with the finished product. And that'll be wrapping up this video. Alright, here's the floor. All welded out. Completed. Now it's a short bed floor. Another thing to keep in mind on welding on this material on the newer beds, you know, you get up certain years, they start putting galvanized on them. Beware of that. I know galvanized makes a lot of people sick when they're welding it. But tomorrow we'll be tackling the bed sides, converting them to short bed sides. And so we'll be doing another video on that. And on the bed floor, the video is so long that I might have to split it up in a couple different videos. We'll see how the video maker comes out. But just be looking out for that next video on the bed sides, and we'll be getting that done tomorrow. So see you then.